Champions Cup, folks. Sharks taking on Toulouse down in Durban. Hot, humid Durban. That ball seemed to be like something of a bar of soap because, boy, was there a lot of drop ball in this game. 4:15 in the morning kickoff for me here in New Zealand. Now, there's not many games that are going to get me out of bed, at least at club level, at that kind of time. But with Toulouse sending a pretty strong team, including the likes of Dupont, Ramos, Flamand, Malvaka, all these guys going down to South Africa, I wanted to see how this game would go live. And, I did. But there was a lot of drop ball. Toulouse, I think you heard them say in the post-match interviews that they were disappointed not to get a bonus point. They certainly created a lot of chances, and for the Sharks, they couldn't get out of their half. That was troubling for them. They dropped about as much ball as the Toulouse guys did, but they just couldn't get out of their own territory. We'll go through some of the key events and the stats. You guys can let us know your thoughts on how the game went. Both sides had attacking chances early. Toulouse certainly looked sharp, creating a line break within the first kind of minute or so. But it was the Sharks who had the first real opportunity to punish. But Jordan Hendricks' kick for touch when they had a penalty going dead was certainly a wasteful one. Toulouse, when they got a 50-22 not too long later, were able to go close with the maul, a couple of phases, and then that man Dupont pops the ball to the massive unit of a lock, Emmanuel Miafu. He's able to go over for the first try of the game to make it 7-0. The Sharks, though, were able to hit back not too long later with a penalty. They changed tack, not go for touch, go for the poles, and 7-3. That's like not a bad opening exchange for the first 13 minutes. But then it kind of gets a bit ugly. There's a few missed opportunities. I mean, maybe the best chance not taken for the Toulouse lads was either the Dupont and Intermac linking up, like Dupont with a big line break, Intermac with the support line. Maybe they need to score there. You got to give some credit to the Sharks defense for holding them out. The defense does hold. And then later on, when Matisse Labelle looks to have scored from a Ramos kick pass, but he's got a foot in touch. Why on earth Ramos didn't just pass it instead of doing the kick pass, I don't know, because it wasn't that far. And it probably would have led to a try. But he went with the kick pass, which was slightly too big, which meant a missed opportunity. So that's Thomas Ramos doing Thomas Ramos things. The guy is a magician, but every now and again he gets that one a little bit wrong. I think the decision-making didn't quite fit there. Unfortunately for Toulouse, Chocobares had gone off between those two chances with what looked like a pretty serious injury because he went off on a stretcher, but he did give the thumbs up on his way off. Selfishly, part of me was thinking at least it's not one of the Six Nations big guns. Like if he does have an injury layoff, it's only going to affect his club. It's not going to affect his country, but obviously that's just me being selfish. I hope he recovers quickly and hope that it's not as serious as it initially looked. On 33 minutes, we had a bit of pushing and shoving. I assumed it was because there was another knock-on and the players were just frustrated with how many knock-ons there were because there'd been a lot. It was one of the more exciting moments of the latter period of the first half. I think it started with Miafu. Was he pushing Mbonambi down on the ground? But either way, there was a bit of pushing and shoving. It ends at a penalty to Toulouse, which they kick to make it 10-3. And then a Dupont line break before halftime ends up with the Sharks conceding another one. So they can't get a try from it, but Toulouse slot another 3. So it's a 13-3 lead at halftime. I feel like Toulouse probably would have liked at least one, maybe two more tries in that first half for the amount of chances they were able to generate. Like line breaks is 5-0 at halftime. Dupont with a couple of those. Territory 65-35 to Toulouse. But turnovers conceded is 11-12 in one half of rugby, which is a fair bit of drop ball. Second half, Toulouse finally get their second one. It takes a little bit of magic. But it's that man Ramos. Like he can blow him and he can set him up. Wide ball to Labelle. Ramos behind the back to Kinghorn, who's able to go over in the corner. 20-3. Toulouse are not really looking like being beaten. But that's their final scoring. And that's again why I think they'll be frustrated. because they generated more scoring opportunities in the second half, which none of them were to be taken. Again, part of that is down to the Sharks' defence. Oxenchain managed to win a really nice penalty at the breakdown, got himself over the ball to shut down a Toulouse ball. I think Toulouse got March 10 from that one as well for a bit of back chat. But then there was just, again, more knock-ons, like Dupont with a quick tap, gets himself up the field. Mapimpi tackles him, ends up stripping a tackle, so it's a loss forward. Netty, the big prop from turnover ball, gets him go forward, also knocks it on. Toulouse, kick a 50-22. I think they knocked it on the line out. Just errors. I mean, for the Sharks, their scrum was at least winning a few penalties. I think they'll take some positives out of that one. Even Nenikani, when he comes on, he scrums pretty well. But they can't get anything right. Like, literally, they win one penalty to the Sharks at the scrum and then don't find touch from the penalty. Like, they didn't do themselves any favours at times. 66 minutes, biggest cheer of the game, when that man Julius is able to get the Sharks' only try of the game. There was a nice offload, I think, from Julius in the build-up to, was it Hatton? And he gets the big line break, and then Julius with the support line is able to go over. That got the crowd going because they were numerous, but they were a little bit quiet, I felt, at times. The Sharks crowd, I mean, the team was on 3 points, so maybe can't really blame them, but that got them a good cheer. So 20 points to 8. Close enough that another Sharks score could make it interesting, but it doesn't come, and Toulouse are unable to push for the bonus points. So the game kind of just kind of peters out. But yeah, Toulouse, as I mentioned, visibly not happy without being able to kind of push on for more points given the team that they sent down, but the conditions were very tough. They finished the game with 8 line breaks to the Sharks 2, which highlights just how much of an attacking threat they were. But 8 line breaks only to score the 2 tries will be a little bit disappointing. Turnovers conceded finishes 21-19, with the Sharks having a couple more. But that's a ton of drop ball, folks. It was, at times, just like one, like knock-on, stoppage. Like, it felt a bit like American sports at times. Like watching American football or something, where it was just stoppage, knock-on, scrum, some guy getting ice on his back. Both sides. That was just, yeah, the way the game kind of played out. Territory 68-32 to Toulouse. They really dominated that area of the game. Positions pretty even. Toulouse conceded 12 penalties to 7 is one area they'll not be happy with, particularly the scrum. But they tackled well, 87%. A bit higher than the Sharks, 83. Meofu gets man of the match, 15 carries, bags himself a try. Jenkins, 12 tackles for the Sharks. Malvaka makes 12 for the Toulouse boys. What about Antoine Dupont? How well did he do? Well, 116 run meters is the top of the game. The next guy in that game was Julius with 51. So Antoine Dupont doing Antoine Dupont stuff. There is more Champions Cup rugby on, which I am about to go and watch. But yeah, 4:15 in the morning, wake up. Was it worth it? Well, she was a bit scrappy, but it was just great to see Toulouse take a big old team down to South Africa and see how they went. But you guys let us know your thoughts on the game. Did it live up to the hype? Was the error count a little bit too frustrating? But yeah, you guys take care, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Ta-ra.